Okay, yo, this is trade recap that is way overdue by like who knows how many days, 5 days, something like that. Um, I don't know. I guess I just got caught up with schoolwork and whatnot. The days just be going by way too fast. Now, trade recap's still here though, so I mean, I feel like it was in like a day or two because I remember this really well. How I thought about this because I actually took a loss this day, and I was like, yo, like I kind of sold the bag because I could have just. I mean, I wasn't wrong in the bias for that, but I mean, it really was. Give me 1 second though. Okay, so so now getting into the whole trade recap. I had to answer back real quick. I was getting a call. Okay, so now just get started with this whole type of thing that we're going with. So now on this day we have right March 6th, which was our trading day. Now looking at this absolutely boomed for these 3 days. But right here we have an imbalance that I was looking at for just something long term. See like okay, could this influence our plays? We gotta obviously move down and go across all our time frames, just confirm everything, check out. So yeah, but that's just something we're looking at, which just happens to be in line with the 4 hour, of course, because they're all really just like a mirror of each other on just on a more broader range of candles if you really think about it. So I mean, like if you understand one chart, you could really understand, or one time frame, you could really understand like all the time frames. Like it's not, you just gotta break it down little by little, and you can see we have this same imbalance right here, and that same imbalance tapping, candles tapping into that same imbalance. You know what I mean? And this imbalance also is an imbalance on the 1 hour. Like if you come over here and really see this, you can see this is an imbalance right here too. We have that imbalance there, matches up perfectly with our 4 hour imbalance and the daily imbalance. Now, the point of liquidity that I used for this, right, was a 30-minute one. And I usually don't use a 30-minute time frame, but my 15-minute one is not able to reach enough, like backwards. So I had to use this 30-minute time frame and I had to mark it right on this here. We could probably mark this a little bit different right here with this ray. Okay, why is it purple? That doesn't really matter. Okay, so we have this point marked out right here that I use a 30-minute time frame because, like I said, the 15-minute one doesn't reach back as far enough for me. But um, let me move forward with this, sir. Okay, so now moving forward, we see this point of liquidity gets tapped into the 15-minute. Okay, this point of liquidity gets tapped into. Right now, we're getting more on the nitty gritty side of the whole thing, I guess. So we have our liquidity right here. We get our little wick right above this, and then we have what would be our 15-minute order block would be all this section right here, and then we have our retracement out of this and then back into this, which should have been where I took my trade. Now, where did I sell the bag? I entered the trade right around here, and then I set my stops really early. Like this could have been a good trade because honestly, like I have the 15-minute. We have a liquidity sweep on the 15-minute, and then I'm pretty sure, right? Like we could scale this down. This block may look really big on the 15 or on the 5-minute, but we have this same liquidity right on the 5-minute, and then we have this retracement. Like just forget about the 15-minute for now. Forget about the 15-minute. Think like now we're just looking at the 5-minute, right? Like just completely ignore what we just did about the 15-minute. We have the 5-minute having this same liquidity sweep. This right here, the whole order block. You can't even really see it though with that. Like I have all these stuff just marked around everywhere. Maybe it looks confusing, so let me just erase some of these stuff because I don't know. Like I'll just save sometimes. So okay, now this is a random thing right here. Now the order block right on the 5-minute. Okay, we're gonna color this green clock on the 5 minute here. Now we have our retracement back out of it, and then we have our retracement back into the order block and into an imbalance that I didn't see. Like I just absolutely forgot about the 5 minute. Like I don't like I think I was running back and forth between classes. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe I just didn't realize. But like this was a perfect entry to have on the 15 minute. See, we have our order block still here. Well, it's a little bit bigger, but whatever. It comes out of the order block and then into this 15 minute imbalance that we have right here that pairs perfectly with the 5 minute imbalance that I absolutely just lost. But it pairs up perfectly with the 5 minute imbalance that we have right here. And it practically fills it like all the way, and it rejects it heavily. And then we have like just the downfall after that. Like this could have been a nice trade to take, but what, what was even going through my head? What type of stops are these? Uh, this was just who. This doesn't even look like me. Like we can see, we almost hit our TP, and honestly, if we go to yeah, look, our order block right here. If we go here, like that would have been a TP to hit for like the order block, like to exit the 15 minute order block, because we know most likely to go back into it if that's what we wanted to do. But that is just something that I realized after I took my trade, and I was like, wow, like I was just watching everything else play out, and then I was like, yo, like technically we were right overall, like in the bias for that time frame or that time period, whatever, until like almost 2 o'clock when it started flipping again. But it's just it's just a subtle mistakes that you don't even realize, because we're looking at this, and if we go down to the 1 minute, right, and you're probably thinking the same thing too, like why would you do that? And the real answer is who knows. Like I think I just had a brain fart, like switching back and forth between classes. I just top on, and then I got the teachers like on me trying to get me off my computer, and then I rushed, rushed. Right, we see on the 1 minute we have this whole thing of movement as well, and now we're just gonna ignore it. Well, actually, we'll keep this here, right? So this is the retracing into the 5 minute imbalance that we had. Now, if we look into here, all right, what was really the premises of taking this trade? Not much. Like that we like that I'm looking at this. Like this had to be like some type of brain fart or something. Like wow, because yeah, like this just doesn't seem like something I would do. But apparently I did it. So we're gonna go with what I did and why I did it. Right. So what I was looking at was this just little zone of accumulation that we had going on for I don't know, almost half an hour, I guess. Yeah, we had just this little up down up down up down up down up down for like 10,000 years, and then what we did here is change this color back to red because it looks terrible. So we had this zone of accumulation, and on the 1 minute, what my thought process was okay. We have accumulation, and we have bearish movements across all the time frames, and on the 15 minute and the 5 minute, and keep in mind, I for some reason didn't notice like the 15 minute and 5 minute working together to make a retracement back into the order blocks. It it was just honestly, it's just crazy. Like it's crazy. Like you really need to be focused when you're doing this, or maybe at least like pay attention like as much as you can, because in my case, I'm not saying like that's like a valid reason to mess up, but in my case, I had my teachers just kind of on my back. She was like staring me down crazy because I was on my computer, and I was trying to be super slick with it so she didn't see me. But Now, the thing is that I was looking at this, right, and I was like, okay, we have uh, bearish order flow starting to get respected here. See, like we have this huge candle literally just get absolutely broken, like holy bro, right? This big down candle right here, and then what we had was this final little exit area, like out of this accumulation, and then we just needed to wait what? Okay, right. So we basically have like our order block essentially, right? So what do we need now? We need a retracement into this, and then what was our retracement into the set order block plus this huge imbalance that we have marked out with a GAN box. So I'm gonna just leave that right there, right? So we had this little retracement back into this. This was essentially where I took my trade, somewhere like yeah, well, I mean this was here already, so we're just gonna go with whatever was here. It was, I remember it being a little bit better to risk to reward, but we're just gonna go with this for now, right? Just assuming it was here. Um, you know, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Who knows? The point is that we risked all this for a terrible risk to reward. Like it's not even that probable, right? So I get into this order block, and this is why you have to revise them, because I'm looking at this now. I'm thinking, yo, this is something that could have prevented, and something that literally makes no sense, right? Because we have our breaker structure where? Where is our breaker structure? No breaker structure, right? So that is error like what, number three? Because we have the number. So we have the 15-minute working together. So that 15-minute or liquidity sweep, that's one. We have the 5-minute liquidity sweep, that's two, and three entering with no with no type of breaker structure. Like I just retraced back into it, but it was not even a breaker structure yet. So it was literally just a retracement, but like barely even a retrace, you know? Like we barely even filled this order block, because say we would have waited for the breaker structure, right? Breaker structure would have been here. Our retracement into said order block fair value gap entry would have been here. Now we wouldn't have closed under this, so we would have waited. Then we would have seen, hey, look at that, we got stopped out, right? Well, we didn't get stopped out, but if we would have waited, we would have seen, hey, this would have stopped us out, and then we would have seen that this was all a play on the 5-minute and the 15-minute combined all along, and then we would have been happily ever after living and um, realizing that we could have made this become way more. Like the price action on the 5-minute looks so fire. Like I can't even lie. But ooh, this thing is lost again. Okay, so it's safe to say, I don't know. Uh, Gotta put the fries in the bag with this trade, bro. This trade was absolutely devious. So yeah, that was kind of just the whole premises of this. It had the stops at a little bit above the accumulation zone, and then the TP was, what is this? Probably a 5-minute thing. It usually is. Okay. Well, it looks like we have no clue either why the heck we put that there. See, I was really bugging, right? This was just not a good day that happened for me, to be honest. Like, I can't even figure out why I put this TP here. If I should have put a TP, it should have been what, like, technically here. That was really low risk to reward, but we decided to put it here, and we have no clue why. So what I'm trying to say with this is basically don't trade like this. Like, like up to like the 15-minute, we had like all the buy. Well, really we had the bias correct in general, because we were going shorts, right? We get stopped out, and then this whole thing is an imbalance in the 5-minute. That this imbalance gets filled out, and then we start doing exactly what we wanted, and way more, right? Way more. So what I'm trying to say is, I need to be more focus. Honestly, probably doesn't even matter if the teachers look like, what are they gonna do? It won't affect them. But anyways, and even if you're watching this too, like, just something to watch out for, because this is the very thing that could happen. Because it wasn't necessarily that I had the bias wrong, or that I had something wrong, like with the, or obviously we did something wrong, that I had something wrong in terms of like just bias, right? But the thing is, I could have had such a much better trade because I would have had my 15-minute, 5-minute, and 1 minute all working together in one liquidity sweep, if that makes sense. So what we really need to do is not make the error of not realizing that we have the 15-minute, right, working with the 5-minute. So just a few things to keep in mind, I guess. We'll just to finish off this video. Um, so 15-minute, right, liquidity sweep happening right there. So obviously we want to make sure that the time frames, that they're obviously in terms of bias the same, but as well, if they're working together, make sure you can maximize on the compatibility and the entry, that it will be pretty much in sync. Like, you want the 15-minute, in this case it was a good example, the 15-minute came to fill an imbalance that was also an imbalance on the 5-minute. So when either or was filling the imbalance, they were ready to dump. So that's just something that keep in mind, and then make sure you just don't forget in general to check your other time frames before you enter a trade, because just one more check could have saved me from huge imbalance that is most likely to get retraced into, because we're coming out of the order block and we need to retrace back in. And what better thing to send us back down than this big fat juicy um, imbalance that is pretty much just like sitting almost at equilibrium, like once we start to flip. So yeah, that's just something else to keep in mind. And then third of all, don't set your stops at a random. That's ugly three. Don't set your stops at a random spot, or not your stops, your TPs. Like, have a reason with it. That I'm not sure why I set this like this. Like, now that I'm looking at this, this was honestly like, if you're looking at for a video, not like, you're not looking for a video on how to trade. You're looking at a video on how not to trade. This is a video on how not to trade, right? This is guide number one on how not to trade, because then it kind of seems contradictory to each other. But anyways, yeah. And then the stops, like I said, if we would have seen this imbalance, it probably wouldn't have been well, it wasn't a good idea, but it probably, like, if we really insisted on going with this, but which we shouldn't have, like, then if anything, like, for some odd reason you actually wanted to take the trade at that spot and you wanted to get a price this low, your stops, could have considered the fair value gap. However, don't even take that in consideration, because you should have just waited for this. So yeah, that's kind of just it for this recap. Just kind of something that, I don't know, like, unexpected turn of events. Just gotta keep an eye out more on the screen and making sure we have everything good before we check our final buy or sell or whatever. So yeah, that's just thing number 4. Make sure everything's good before you enter in. And on this, we lost like 267 or something. Yeah, like 267. Let me see. Get a quick picture real quick. Okay, this was, no, we lost 237. See right down here. Okay. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. So yeah, I'll see you on the next trade recap, boys. Peace.